welcome to this week's Angel Oracle card reading for week commencing the 12th of November 2018. Thank you so much for joining me here this week. We're going to use the Angel Dreams Oracle cards again this week, as I felt that they work quite well for the November reading and for week commencing the 5th, so I figured that we'd carry on and use these again for another week, just spicing things up and using some new cards and bringing in some new energy. So, like we've started to do, we're going to pull 3 cards that symbolise what we're drawn to. So if we're drawn to card 1, that card is going to be more prevalent for us for this week. Same with card 2 and card 3. But all of the cards overall are going to have some impact on us, on our lives. Excuse me, I have a little bit of a cold still. I've kind of been battling with it for a few weeks, so I'm really doing my best not to be too nasally. Okay, so we've just pulled card 1 there, card 2, and we'll just be patient for our third and final card, card 3. Okay, so we'll just close our eyes and just think about which card that we're drawn to. Okay, I hope that you've been able to figure out which card it is. So if you were drawn to card 1, we have Snake. Interesting. Rebirth, release, and integration are elements of this card. Some people, when they see the snake, they freak and think, oh, you know, a snake isn't very good. A snake is about temptation. A snake is about sneakiness, ruthlessness. And of course, snakes can have those things. But on the plus side, you know, I was born in the year of the snake. You may have been born in the year of the snake, or know someone or love someone who is. So, you know, there's a lot of people in this world who were born in the year of the snake and who aren't, you know, terrible people. But mostly, the snake really, for me, I believe, is about rebirth and this shedding. If we think about a snake, it sheds its skin. And snakes aren't slippery. Often people think, oh, snakes are slippery creatures, but they're not. Their actually skin is very rough and they're very muscular to hold. Beautiful creatures and quite loving, I think. So the shedding of the skin, where we're just releasing all our old and we're being reborn. That is the message from the snake this week. That there is some sort of rebirth going on, particularly if we're drawn to card 1. We're going through a transformational process and it might be painful. When a snake sheds its skin, we don't know how uncomfortable that might be because it's tight. I can imagine it would feel tight. I can imagine it would sometimes get a bit stuck, and obviously the snake has grown, so it's outgrowing that skin, so the skin is kind of clinging, and once it sheds that skin, it's so much more beautiful than it was before. And that is how we've got to look at this process. It may be a bit uncomfortable, it may feel a bit restrictive, but once we've gone through it, we'll be moving into something more beautiful. And I feel that's what the snake is coming to tell us at the start of, for card 1 of this week. If you were drawn to card 2, we have the colour purple. Really interesting. Was it last week we had orange for card 2? So those of us who keep choosing card 2, excuse me, I told you I had a bit of a sniffle. Really sorry. Those of us who keep picking card 2, there are definitely a link with colours, and this colour is purple, and purple, if we're thinking about it in terms of our chakra, represents really kind of like our crown chakra, where we have information downloaded within to us, and it's our spiritual connection. But also, like this card says, our third eye area and our clairvoyant area. So our third eye is situated about here in our head, and it's really the idea that we are seeing but not with our physical sight. Clairvoyance is the ability to see. a lot of people can have this stroke of clairvoyance that lasts not very long. So if you've gone for a massage or there's some kind of healing that's taken place, you can have an amazing spiritual experience where you can see, it just feels like you can see clearly. Maybe you'll be able to see an angel or a guide or something like that. And it doesn't always last forever for everybody. Sometimes it can be like a one-off spiritual experience that just sticks with us forever. But it's really, what I'm getting from card 2 is it could either be that we are going to have this amazing spiritual experience very, very soon. But we've just got to try and stay grounded throughout it, because sometimes those kind of experiences can make us feel like all over the place because they're so intense and so different, otherworldly almost. So stay grounded within that. If it's not a spiritual experience like that, I'm feeling we're going to see the truth of a situation. So if we've been asking about a particular situation in our lives that we need guidance with, I'm feeling that we are going to see the truth of it, almost like the moon card in tarot. So there can sometimes be sadness about that. There can sometimes be a bit of disappointment as well. But knowing the truth ultimately is going to help us in our lives, surely. We don't want to be in the dark. We want to have all the facts at our fingertips, and this card is really saying that that is something that could happen for us this week. And if we were drawn to card 3, we have astral travel. It talks about vital force, information, and dreamtime soul travel. So astral travel is where, when we go to sleep, our soul, our consciousness leaves our body, but we are conscious of it. So unlike a dream, where we don't always know we're dreaming, astral travel is more, we are very much in control of the experience, and we tend to travel to perhaps other worlds in space, or even just sort of float around our own vicinity. Sometimes astral travel can happen purely by accident, and astral travel tends to happen in the sort of fifth dimension, fourth dimension, meaning that things look the same. So, for example, I had one experience once with astral travel, and I've had a few since, but this experience, I got up out of bed and I went to the kitchen, and I walked through the living room, and I had a sofa at the time that was dark purple, but it actually looked more pink. And I was thinking, I'm sure that couch is like dark purple. Why does it look pink? I walked back into my bedroom and I could see myself asleep in bed. So it was a moment of, oh, okay, I'm astral traveling, where you have left your body, your consciousness has left your body, but you're still conscious of the fact that you are asleep, but you can still see your surroundings. But sometimes your surroundings will have changed slightly. So, for example, the colour of the sofa. It can be a disorientating experience at first, especially if it happens by accident. But really, I just feel it's like a way for us to really get to know ourselves more, get to understand what our subconscious is telling us, particularly if we're ignoring our dreams. Sometimes astral travel comes in to play. Sometimes people train themselves to do this regularly. This is just a personal thing, but I just think being a human is such an experience. When we leave this body, when we die, basically, we will go back to being an astral being, a bodiless being, and whatever that entails. None of us knows the complete answer to that. But we don't have a body. And so we have a body for, like 100 years on this planet if we're very, very blessed. I'm always of the thought that we should just be enjoying that. We should be enjoying the physical human sense and not trying to look outside so much for other things. So if we get so, and this is really just a very personal opinion, so please don't take offence if you disagree, but if you wanted to try astral travel, great. But I just feel that we should be just celebrating more being a human, because it is a fantastic opportunity and a fantastic blessing. So just to recap, card 1, snake, shedding our skin. maybe people view us as a bit sneaky, but we're just going through a period of transformation, and maybe we withdrew a little bit. Card 2, the colour purple. Receiving, downloading information and seeing the truth of situations. And card 3, astral travel, opening ourselves up to perhaps major spiritual experiences and receiving new information that could really help us on our spiritual path. So I hope that you've enjoyed the reading for the 12th of November. Thank you so much for joining me. I'd feel really blessed if you commented, liked, shared, or even subscribed to this channel. It would mean a great deal to me. And if you did feel inclined to go ahead and order a reading with me, you can just visit www.alyssacruz.com, and I actually have a 10% discount code voucher in the description box down below this video if you would like to use it. Until we speak again next week, I'm sending you so much love and many blessings. Lots of love, Alyssa.